Bad news for the San Francisco 49ers. Coming up on today's Philadelphia Eagles now, why the Birds can send a statement and get their offense on track against the Niners in the wild card round on Sunday. Also coming up on today's Philadelphia Eagles now, my name is Chase Sr. The Eagles got some good news from the NFL on multiple fronts and why Howie Roseman did it again. I do want to begin here, though. Do you love the Eagles? And when I ask you that question, I really mean it. Do you truly love the Eagles? Are you a diehard Eagles fan? If you are, I want you to show me by hitting that thumbs up icon and liking the video. I want at least 1,000 likes on today's show. All right, the Eagles offense in 2025. Been a frustrating season. All of us know that, right? I've watched every single snap of this season for Philadelphia. I know a lot of you have as well. This is the NFL's highest paid offensive unit among all 32 teams, but we've seen a lot of mixed results, and this offense has really been inconsistent all season long. There have been good stretches where the Eagles have a good quarter, a good half, a good game, maybe a couple of good weeks, and then in the case of that Bills game where I liked what they did the prior 3 weeks, in that second half after a good first half, they were awful. And that led Jalen Hurts to saying something today about Kevin Patullo that opened up my eyes. Kind of took a shot at KP, I think. The approach this year and the way that the games have been called with this coordinator, with Coach KP, it's just kind of gone that way. Talking about him using his legs. I've taken it in stride and giving my best with the position they've put me in. I know that Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, and Nick Sirianni probably saw that, and they have the same reaction as all of us. Now, you look at how the Eagles offense fares with some of the other teams in the NFL playoffs. There is a belief that maybe the Eagles could turn it on once the postseason comes around, which is quickly coming up as I'm recording this show on Thursday, January 8th. And when I think back to the Eagles winning the Super Bowl in 2017, making it there in 2022, and then last year's Super Bowl run, the offense actually got better and better as the playoffs progressed, and the numbers in the playoffs in certain areas were actually better in the postseason than in the regular season. What can't happen for Philadelphia in the playoffs if they want a sustained run and they want to repeat as Super Bowl champions? Couple of things, right? They have to be more efficient on first down. They got to run the football. They got to take care of the football. They have to stop going 3 and out because they have taxed this Eagles defense. And it really hasn't impacted this Eagles defense. But if the Eagles can play a well-rounded game, I don't think there's a team in the NFL that can stick with Philadelphia. And you look at the lowest 3 and out percentages among playoff teams. The Panthers go 3 and out the least at 15.2%, and that's, of course, second overall in the NFL. So Panthers 1, Niners 2, Rams 3, Bills 4, Packers 5. We flip the page to the next set of playoff teams here in the postseason: Patriots, Seahawks, Chargers, Jags, and Bears. We haven't seen the Eagles yet, right? 11, Texans, 12, Steelers, 13, Broncos, 14th, the Philadelphia Eagles. They had a 3 and out percentage of 28.1%. Not where you want to be. Dead last in the NFL among all 32 teams, dead last among all playoff teams. And the Eagles' offensive issues, I think they are fivefold here, if you will. Lack of first down success rate, putting them in more difficult positions to execute and call plays on second, third, and fourth down. I think penalties and playing sloppy have been issues all season long. The offensive line has regressed. That's been a monster one. Play calling from Kevin Patullo just has no feel and no play call sequencing. And then it also comes down to the lack of execution, right? Sometimes Kevin Patullo has called a good play. He's designed a good play. But then there's been a missed block or a drop or a missed throw, just missed execution. We looked at the 3 and out rate. How about playoff offenses DVOA? This is a very heavy and well-used analytical number, of course. And the Rams are a heavy analytical team. Number 1 DVOA offense in the NFL. And, of course, number 1 in the playoffs as well. So you have the Rams at 1, Patriots at 2, Niners at 3. So far, we've seen that the Niners kind of analytical darlings. The Packers at 4, the Bears at 5. Bills 6th, Broncos 7th, Jags 8th, Seahawks 9th, Steelers 10th. Once again, Chase, where are the Philadelphia Eagles? They are 12th among the playoff teams in DVOA, 18th overall among the 32 teams in the NFL in the regular season. Of course, it goes without saying, these offensive numbers are not pretty. And a lot of people don't like the Eagles to win a Super Bowl outside of Philadelphia and even in the city of brotherly love because they are not believers in this Eagles offense. What if I told you that the Eagles offense, though, going up against this Niners defense in the wild card round is just what this Eagles offense needs? That this Niners defense is the recipe that could allow this Eagles offense to find a groove. The Niners defense on first down is 18th in the NFL in yards per play, of course, during the regular season. On second down, San Francisco is even worse, 31st in yards per play. Success on first down has been missing from the Eagles all year. Success on first down changes play calling and predictability. If the Eagles are more efficient on first down, they will be less predictable, which makes Kevin Patullo's job a lot easier, which makes the execution easier for the entire offense to be a better unit. And they can take advantage of that and exploit it against the Niners in the wild card round. I also like how the vibes are pointing up for the Eagles. It was a long and arduous regular season. This comes after the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year and had a shortened offseason. It's very taxing, especially in the city of Philadelphia. Elliot Shore-Parks, friend of the show, does great work for WIP, tweeted this out today. It's an extremely loose and loud Eagles locker room. Players are hanging out at each other's locker. One of the loudest locker rooms I've been in, from players just talking to each other. A.J. Brown is leading it. Ladies and gentlemen, the vibes are up for the Eagles. Now it's time for them to go out, beat the Niners, and go on another Super Bowl run. A lot more to get to here on the show, but don't forget to give me a follow on all my social media platforms, in addition to subscribing to us here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm giving you so much Eagles coverage here, but I'm talking Eagles on my social media platforms as well. If you just want to follow my personal brands, I'm on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Chase_Senior. Just started the TikTok page, and it's really started to take off. So give me a follow over there. Don't be afraid to hop in the DM, say what's up. I always love hearing from some of our real ones and subscribers. Do want to tell you about this deal as well, thanks to our friends at Fanatics. This Eagles hoodie t-shirt was $60. It is now on sale for just $42, thanks to our friends at Fanatics. But you have to use our link down below in order for that deal to apply. It's chatsports.com/Eagles hoodie shirt. Chatsports.com/Eagles hoodie shirt. They were $60, now on sale for just $42. Going to put that link down below in the comment section attached to the pinned comment of today's Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's Nike. It looks awesome. Look good, feel good. You know the motto. Take advantage of that deal right now. All right, let's move ahead on today's Philadelphia Eagles Now and get to the back half of the show. A couple more things that I want to get to here on the program, and a couple of storylines that I think a lot of people will like and enjoy here on the show. How the Eagles got some good news from the NFL, and how Howie Roseman really did pull off a fantastic move that has paid very big dividends for Philadelphia here. So let's get into it here. This is Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Senior. Thanks for hanging out and watching the show. I do want to begin here. This is the amount of subscribers over the last 7 days that the 49ers Report and Philadelphia Eagles Now have picked up. And as you can see, the 49ers Report, a larger channel, has gained 988 subscribers over the last week. Eagles Now at 429. I want to put a big dent into that number. I'm from Westchester, grew up in the Philadelphia area, been an Eagles fan since I was 4 years old. Lock us and hit that sub button. Let's catch up in this race. Remember when the Eagles traded Haason Reddick to the New York Jets? Feels like a long time ago, right? It's kind of unfortunate how his Eagles career dissipated. He had such a special year in 2022, and he was such a focal point for that Eagles defense, which led the NFL in sacks that year with 70, and he had a career year. Then in 2023, wasn't the same player, and then things soured. He wanted a new deal. Howie Roseman didn't want to give him a new deal. Howie Roseman wanted a philosophical change at the pass rusher spot at outside linebacker under Vic Fangio after making that coordinator change, and Vic didn't really like Haason Reddick because he can't drop back in coverage. Nolan Smith and Jaelan Hunt, they do a better job of doing that, and so the Eagles were fine moving off of Reddick, especially at his age, his playing style, and how much money he was demanding at the time. He wanted to be one of the top pass rushers in the game. And so the Eagles traded Haason Reddick to the New York Jets. And the Eagles got back a conditional mid-round pick. It was either going to be a third or it was going to be a second. If it was going to be a second, that all came down to production and playing time. So on April 1st, that was when Reddick was traded to the Jets for that conditional mid-round selection, where if Reddick were to reach 67.5% of playing time and have 10 sacks in 2024, the pick would be a second-round selection. Neither of the conditions were met, leading to the Eagles eventually receiving the Jets' 2026 third-round pick. It was also a disaster for the Jets because Reddick wanted a new deal with New York. New York didn't want to pay him, and so he held out for a little while. That impacted the production. Well, the trade compensation is official, and it's not that second-round pick, which would have been awesome, but the Eagles will receive the 68th overall pick from the New York Jets in the Haason Reddick trade. The Eagles are getting a top 70 pick after Reddick had 1 sack in 10 games with the New York Jets. I also just want to take another shot at a division rival because it's always fun to make fun of the Washington Commanders. How about this too? The Eagles are currently projected to make 6 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft before the Commanders make their 3rd pick, which is early in the 5th round. Pretty wild, right? This is Howie Roseman playing chess and not checkers. I transition to this. The head official for this Eagles-Niners game on Sunday will be Alan Heck. And the Eagles are 8-1 in games that he referees, including the 2023 NFC Championship game. That would have been the 2022 season, of course. The 49ers in games where Alan Heck has been the referee. They are 3-6. And I saw some of these numbers from NFL Ref Stats that home teams are 33-15 straight up, 69%, and 28-20 against the spread, 59%. In X 2+ seasons as head referee, although home teams are just 8-8 against the spread with him in 2025. Philadelphia, 3-0 straight up, 2-1 against the spread, with Alan Heck in charge of proceedings, favored by an average of 5 points in those contests. Heck is averaging the second fewest penalties per game in 2025. That's great news because I hate watching football games where flags are flying and there is so much laundry on the field, and Heck is a Williamsport native, and I don't think a lot of Niner fans are very happy about that. And then I round out with this. Notable Howie Roseman in-season trades. He's kind of whiffed on some trades over time. The 4th-round pick for Jay Ajayi, the 3rd-round pick for Golden Tate, 3rd-round pick for Robert Quinn. In 2023, he traded for Kevin Byard. Jay Ajayi, of course, was back in 2017. Our bad on that one. But all these trades outside of Jay Ajayi really didn't work out for the Eagles. Like Golden Tate really didn't do much. Robert Quinn was cooked. Kevin Byard just wasn't good for a bad Eagles defense this year. He's been very productive as a ball hawk for Chicago. And the Jaelan Phillips trade, by far and away, goes down as the best Howie Roseman in-season trade that he has made as a general manager. The acquisition of Phillips has really coincided with this Eagles defensive turnaround. And since the acquisition of Jaelan Phillips, he made his debut against the Green Bay Packers coming out of the bye week. The Eagles defense has been spectacular. They've really turned it around. They've had one really bad performance. That came against the Chicago Bears. Other than that, and even with that game included, they're the #1 scoring defense allowed. And since week 8 in general, they're giving up just 14.5 points per game. And look at these numbers for Jaelan Phillips with the Eagles. 8 games played, 8 games played, 41 pressures, 32 hurries, 2 sacks, and 7 quarterback hits. And I tweeted this out, and somebody responded, 2 sacks? Those are Bryce Huff level numbers. Yeah, if you translate those numbers to a full season, Jaelan Phillips will be on pace for like 90 pressures and more than 30 or more than like 60 quarterback hits. Those numbers are stupid. And you see why Vic Fangio really liked the player, why Jaelan Phillips was the player that Vic Fangio went to Howie Roseman and said, I want him. And Jaelan Phillips just thrives under Vic Fangio. When he played under him with the Miami Dolphins, Jaelan Phillips had some of the best production in his career. And of course, it's unfortunate that he suffered an Achilles injury and an ACL injury, but still, when he was playing with Fangio in Miami, he was balling out, and he was on his way to having a breakout year and a career year. Now, I think this is the best stretch of football that we've seen from Jaelan Phillips, and he's also made plays that go beyond just those numbers, right? Altering passes, batting down passes, making plays to collapse the pocket, which have led to giveaways, being around the ball. He's really surprised me being a better run defender than I thought that he was going to be. And we'll see if the Eagles bring him back in free agency, because with the way that he's played, with the value of pass rushers, the current market there, he could be really expensive. But as we know, Howie Roseman is always willing to invest in edge rushers, and we'll have to see what his market value is after the year. Been a fun story. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for daily and year-round coverage of the Eagles. Thanks for hanging out and tuning into the show. Great coverage to come all throughout the weekend and in the lead-up to this Eagles-Niners game on Sunday.